Thank you for watching tonight's video. We really do hope that you enjoy it. Today we're going to be talking about how to decipher codes, or Seiko codes. All different watches have various codes on the front and the back and on the movement. And whether it's a Seiko, a Timex, a Casio, a Rolex, pretty much any brand will have certain codes. Well, tonight we're going to be talking about the popular brand Seiko. And I thought this would be a good watch to use. It's a very common model, and I thought maybe your Seiko watch at home that you're looking at might have some similarity to it. Well, let's go ahead and get started. First of all, we see the word Seiko, of course, but that's obvious. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at the letters and numbers below the 6th position at the bottom of the dial. First of all, it says Movement Japan. So what that means is that the movement itself is made or was made in Japan. Now the reason that's important is it does not say that the watch was made in Japan. It does say that the movement was made in Japan, and that's the distinction, isn't it? The movement made in Japan, but that does not mean the watch itself was made and assembled and so forth in Japan. Next we see the letters. Let's go ahead and move to this piece of paper. Movement Japan. Then we see the number 7N43. 7N43 is the movement number. Let's say that you have a watch that you like a whole lot, and for some reason the movement is no longer working and you need to replace that movement. Well, what you can do is you can get on eBay and you can order a 7N43 movement, and you can put that in your watch and it will work. That's the movement number. Seiko will use the same movement in many watches. They will not always look exactly the same. They might be a little bit different colors. The dial might be a different color. The hands might be a different color. The numbers might be Roman or Aramaic. Lots of variations, but what it boils down to is that's a very important number, and it's usually 4 letters, 4 numbers, letters, right there, 7N43 movement number. Then we come to, this is the other number that we saw below the 6th position, and it's 9251 in the case of this watch. Your number on your watch will very likely be different. This is the design code. Boy, Seiko, just like everybody else, has a lot of different watches that look different. They don't all look the same. This particular one, for example, has this particular shape to the case. And also you see the white dial. We see the gold accents, the gold hour markers, the gold hands, and so forth. That's what this number is all about, the 9251. So when you look at your Seiko at home, it's going to probably have a different movement number, but that's okay. Look at those 4 digits, whatever they might be, and that is the movement number right here. Then the last 4 numbers is the design code for your watch. Let's say you want to get another watch that's just like it. Your watch is broken and you happen to really enjoy that look. You want to get another watch just like it, and that's the number, one of the numbers you need right there. Okay, let's go ahead and what we have here is the numbers and so forth on the back plate or lid, and I'm going to go ahead and make this just a little bit easier for us using this old pair of worn out. There we go. It makes it a little easier for us. Okay, right here we see the name Seiko, of course. That's to be expected. I'm going to go ahead and look at my notes here for a second, so bear with me as I turn pages here. I want to make sure I get this right. I don't want to make any mistakes. Okay. There's the name Seiko. And then underneath Seiko, and these kind of big numbers here, is a 6-digit code. In the case of this watch, it is 404603. Now the watch that you have at home will very likely, or will have, a different number here. So let's go through here and decode what this means. Notice the first number is 4. That's the year in which the Seiko watch was made to some extent. That could mean it's made in 1984, 1994, 2004, or 2014. But that 4 does narrow it down. The next number we have here is the number 0. Let me go ahead and explain this. We have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. September is the 9th month of the year. When October rolls around, they use the number 0. If your watch has a 3 there, that means it's March. If it's a 6, it means December. If it's 9, it means November. So that's what that, 9, 1 would be January, 2 would be February, 3 would be March. Okay. I hope I made that clear. I did my best on that. The next 4 digits here is a serial number for this specific watch. It's a unique number. It's like the title number on your car or your pickup. Every one of them is different. This is the individual number for that watch. Those 4 digits will certainly be different on your watch. Okay. Let me go ahead. Alright. Underneath that is the number, or there's information there that says stainless steel. Now you could say, well, that obviously means stainless steel, and of course it does. But more specifically, that means the entire case, including the back lid, is stainless steel. And you could be thinking to yourself, well, that's kind of obvious, but no, not really. Because sometimes we will see back stainless steel, top of watch, or case base metal. So if we see that, we would know that the back is stainless steel and the case would be base metal. When it just says stainless steel, it means the entire case and lid are stainless steel. Okay, so then we see the numbers and letters 7N43 again. And of course that's the movement number. We've already talked about that. Then we see 9070, and this is the case number. That gets really specific, very specific on the case. What that means is, in this particular case, it's a smooth bezel that's well polished. It's a stainless steel, well polished case. That's what that number is all about. It's the case number. Okay. If it says 9070, every 9070 will look exactly like that. Okay, let's go ahead and turn it back over and look at the back of it again. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Alright. Now we see that there's a small A4 in the square here. And what the A4 is, what that is kind of hard for me to explain. I'm going to do my best. It's the case manufacturing code. So the A equals the basic construction of the case. The 4 is a deviation from the standard construction. I'm not exactly sure what the A4, I'm not exactly sure what this is all about, but that's what the A4 is. And the letters on your watch will be something different. I point this out so that we have a basic understanding of what the A4 means. Now, like I said, it's going to be inside a box, and there'll be a letter and a number there, and that's generally what it means. So if you see that way you have some clue as what's going on. Alright, now how do we determine the exact year of the watch? This gets just a little bit complex, but not really. We saw that the last letter was a 4 for the first letter. I'm sorry, the first number was a 4. And we've already talked about how that designates a year. Now, I really like old Timex watches. We're talking about Seikos, but old Timexes will make it very clear. You know, this watch was made in 1968 or 1967 or 70. And then some Bulova watches are very clear as to more exact. But now we're talking about Seiko again, and they're not overly exact, are they? As I've already said 3 times, the 4 here only applies to the last digit of the year, 1994, 2004, 2014, or possibly 1984. So how do we narrow this down? That's not always easy. What you have to do is, what a person has to do is correspond that number with the movement. The movement is 7N43. This is where it gets a little bit difficult. We have to discover when that movement started production and ended production and when it was in use. In the case of this particular watch, if I'm remembering right, Seiko used the 7N43 in both the year 2004 and the year 2014. Is that right, honey? Or 1994 and 2004? So Seiko used this particular movement number in 1994 and 2004. That helps. It doesn't precisely narrow it down. When I would list this watch, I would just either not say what year it was made, or I would just say it was made in 1994, 2004. But in eBay listings, the numbers I give are on the back plate. I say 7N43-9070, and then I also give the numbers that are on the front. 7N43, the movement, and then the 9251. And what the buyer will do is they'll cross-reference that, and if there are no Seikos, that number will have meaning to them. If a person doesn't know Seiko, they might still be interested in it because they're smart and they're intelligent shoppers, and they can figure out that number has some importance. I hope that this video has been helpful. I know it gets a little bit difficult to understand with all these different numbers on the front and the back. Maybe I didn't talk overly smoothly going through it, but I did the best I could. If you do use this information, I think it'll be very helpful to you. You might have to rewind it a few times. And I can get a really good picture of that. I think that...
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, then the next page here. Okay. I think the way I wrote it down was as best that I could do. And I hope that you found it helpful. I will say this just real quickly. When I was looking at YouTube videos, I was trying to find out if anybody else had this information. And there probably is somebody, but I really couldn't find anybody that had all the information on the front and the back of the watch all in one video. And so I thought I put together this video that it could be helpful to people on YouTube as well as my customers on eBay. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I do hope that you enjoy it. And we put out about one video every day. Well, have a good night.